purpose of this press conference is to highlight what business is doing right here in San Diego. When our maritime industrial businesses succeed, so does the region. And the nation benefits too. The Port of San Diego is especially proud to serve as the Navy shipyard, with both BAE Systems and General Dynamics, NASSCO, operating on our land. And they are both truly great shipyards operating here in San Diego. BAE is a top employer of the Tidelands. The 1,700 employees that BAE represents is an important component of the port's overall $7.6 billion economic impact in San Diego County, and a big part of that economic impact is in our maritime sector. The shipyard business is growing. BAE is currently undergoing an environmental review process for a new dry dock, which would be one of the largest floating dry docks in the nation. This $100 million investment would add needed capacity and further bolster the company's economic impact and the region's support for our military, which is extremely important here in San Diego, is home to the Pacific Naval Fleet with over 50 vessels home ported right here in San Diego. That maritime capacity for those vessels is absolutely mandatory. Of course, with great success comes great responsibility, and BAE is serving as an example of how to handle a booming business amid land constraints in an infill urban area. Parking congestion is an issue that is not unique to Barrio Logan. What is unique is how this company has made a concerted effort to be part of the solution, really acting as a good corporate citizen here in San Diego. BAE found that the volume of its business was growing to a point where it was hiring more people than could fit on-site parking. As a result, workers inevitably used street parking, which resulted in neighborhood complaints. We're happy that the company has voluntarily, and I want to stress that, voluntarily taken smart measures that you'll hear about more today, including worker shuttles and shift time adjustments. With the support of the Port of San Diego and the City of San Diego, especially Councilmember Alvarez, which I'd like to call out today, BAE's strategy is now in place. The measures taken are being used by employees, which will reduce demand in the Barrio Logan neighborhood, and that is so critical for the people that live in that neighborhood. I'd like to recognize Ace Parking for being a partner in accomplishing BAE's parking strategy by negotiating for employees to park in the very garage that we are in the roof of right now, right here adjacent to the Hilton and the San Diego Convention Center. Now, it's really my pleasure to to introduce the great mayor of the City of San Diego, Mayor Kevin Faulconer.
Great. Okay, very good. Thank you,
Mayor.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I will be brief, and this is the type of collaboration that works to benefit our neighborhoods. Port of San Diego, BAE Systems, and particularly want to call out the leadership of my colleague, Councilmember David Alvarez. This is about being creative with solutions that are going to get cars out of the neighborhood. It's going to help one of our great ship repair folks and BAE and what they're doing every single day. It's a win-win situation. And so to have a parking plan that benefits the neighbors of Barrio Logan, gets those cars out of the neighborhood, has a shuttle that moves people around, that's the type of creative systems that work together. You can achieve those results. And so, again, I wanted to thank everyone at the port. I wanted to thank BAE for really stepping up and saying, how do we change a dynamic that was not working for the neighborhoods? And I think, again, I want to thank my colleague, Councilmember Alvarez. This is the type of collaboration when we work together in an urban environment that can make all the difference in the world. And so I'm proud to be here today to say thank you to everybody and support this collaboration. Thanks so much.
Thank you very much, Mayor Faulconer. It's now my pleasure to introduce Councilman David Alvarez.
Thank you. Good afternoon now. Thank you for being here. I want to thank the port, Chairman Malcolm, and specifically I want to thank our port commissioners who represent the City of San Diego, and they do a fantastic job at that. All of our commissioners have really been supportive of all of this, and there are a lot of wonderful benefits to the community, that is true. But at the end of the day, this is really about making sure that our businesses are successful, and especially businesses like BAE, which have always been committed to this is not new. You know, they've always been like this. They've always been willing to work to make sure that the impacts that might exist as a result of their presence in the community are diminished as much as possible. And so it's not new. Not only do we have the parking here, which is good, but also as an avid supporter of transit, I know that they are doing a lot to make sure that people reach their destination by taking mass transit as an option. That is also a really good thing, and it's good for our environment, and it's good for the employees as well, who don't have to wait as long to come to their place of work. So I want to thank in particular BAE Systems General Manager Bob Korber for really just continuing to be a good corporate citizen, continuing to do the right thing, and make sure that the employees are taken care of, the community is taken care of, and like the mayor said, it is really a collaborative effort that makes the community and everybody make a win-win situation. So I just want to say that this is an opportunity that exists for everybody. I see representatives from our maritime industry in general here, and for all of our employers on the waterfront, you see a lot of empty parking spaces here. So anybody else who wants to join in this collaborative effort, the opportunity is there, and I think the Port of San Diego, by way of our commissioners, really will be supportive of that in the future. So yes, it's going to help the community. Yes, as we've seen now the community college go in, a lot more people there. The impacts are real, but most importantly, I think it's really forward thinking on behalf of BAE Systems, because as they look, and we hope that they grow their business, this is a way to ensure that that there's sufficient parking and the appropriate types of amenities for their employees so that they can have a good experience as well. So once again, thank you to the Port of San Diego. They've been, everybody at the port has been so supportive and looking forward to continued collaboration between all of us, the city, the port, and our employers here that are so important and critical to our economy and such good partners to our community. So looking forward to more of these. Thank you very much, Chairman.
Now it is my pleasure to recognize one of my colleagues, Vice Chair Marshall Merrifield. Marshall?
Thanks, sir. The working waterfront is a true jewel for the Port of San Diego and for the region's economy. Among the most impactful parts of that waterfront, which is behind us, are our shipyards. Not only in the jobs they create, the good wages and great benefits, but also as a key essential partner to the Navy and to the military. Councilman Alvarez, when he first took office, made the parking issue in the Barrio an important topic and asked the three port commissioners, all of us here, Bob Nelson and Rafael Castellanos and I from San Diego, to start thinking creatively about what we could do to solve that. And after some brainstorming meetings, we got thinking about this garage, which is a port property and is 57% vacant most of the time. Commissioner Castellanos, who is our delegate to the Barrio Logan Community Planning Board from the port, and I met with David Alvarez to socialize that idea, and we thought it would be worth a try. We got our CEO, Randa Caniglio, together with Bob Kerbers, and they worked out a bulk rate deal for 300 cars in this garage. Of course, BAE took the ball and ran with it. They shuttle those employees back and forth. They have buses coming from other parts of the county to their workplace, and they really deserve our recognition for just a terrific job in being a great community neighbor. Thank you, Bob Kerbers. When you're in business, it can be difficult to do things the right way, but BAE does that on a regular basis. The BAE employees have collected food for the hungry for the San Diego Food Bank. They've built houses for Habitat for Humanity. The company also has a clean team that meets monthly to pick up trash from neighboring streets and participates in other cleanups throughout the year. And around Christmas, they give out hundreds of bikes and helmets to military families. It also gives toys and gifts to Barrio school children, and they also have a matching program for employees to give to a charity of their choice. This is just a few of the things that BAE does as a good neighbor, and we are so proud that you're a part of our port and that you're a great neighbor. Thank you again, Bob and BAE. Thank you.
Thank you, Vice Chair Merrifield. And now it's my pleasure to introduce our last speaker for today, Vice President for BAE Systems, Bob Korber.
I'd like to start off by thanking Mayor Faulconer, Councilman David Alvarez, the Port of San Diego Chair, Dan Malcolm, and the Vice Chair Marshall Merrifield for making this possible. Without their support, we wouldn't be here right now. In the past several months, BAE Systems has made it a priority to help alleviate the overcrowded parking situation in Barrio Logan, not only for our employees, but also for the community. We want to be a good neighbor. In May, we adjusted our shift start times. Traditionally, first shift, which was the preponderance of our workforce, would start at 0600 and would go to 1430, 2:30. Second shift, which was roughly 400 employees, would start at 1430. So just by the nature of the shift times, the personnel that were coming in on second shift would be circling the neighbor areas, the parking lots, looking for vacant spots before they could start work. So this was an easy fix. We actually took our second shift and shifted it 1/2 hour later in the day, so they now start at 3 o'clock. So now it gives time for our first shift personnel to vacate the lots, and now our second shift personnel to come in and use those parking spots, which freed up a lot of the parking congestion, the traffic that was being experienced in the barrio. Additionally, in conjunction with that, we also shifted a lot of our first shift personnel to second shift. Because if you go by the parking lots in the evening, you notice that most of them are empty. So this is, again, an easy fix. Let's move some of our personnel from first shift to second shift and to third shift, again, to help alleviate some of the parking congestion within the Barrio Logan. In July, we implemented a free bus shuttle service to the South Bay. So all of our employees that are residing in the South Bay can meet in a common area, board the bus, and be transported free of charge to our facility. Again, reducing the parking requirements as well as reducing the traffic on our neighboring streets. We've also subsidized 9 van pools from North County and Imperial Valley. And we're also developing bus commuter options for employees residing in the East County and other parts of San Diego. And today, you stand on our most recent parking solution, the rooftop of the Hilton parking structure, where we are now leasing 300 parking spaces and provide a free shuttle for our employees. We thank the Hilton and ACE for working with us to free up those 300 parking spaces in the Barrio Logan neighborhood. Again, this is a team effort, and we appreciate all the support. Lastly, I'd like to recognize Captain Jones, unsung hero in the parking issues in the barrio. What a lot of people don't realize is not only does he provide parking for the sailors on the naval station, we provide transportation from our facility to those parking spaces, but he also puts berthing accommodations in the beacon towers for all those sailors. So when they're in the maintenance period, which is a pretty industrial-based period, a lot of disruption, he enables that duty section, those sailors, to actually reside in the beacon towers. So when we bring those sailors back to their vehicles on the naval station, we're not just bringing them back to their cars, we're bringing them back to the doorstep of their home. So, and that's made possible by Captain Jones. And I want to make sure that he gets the recognition well deserved for that, making that happen. Thank you, Captain. And lastly, I want to let you know we're not done. Okay, we're still looking at other properties, other venues, avenues to make sure that we continue to become a good neighbor with the Barrio Logan, and we further try and reduce the parking constraints and the traffic congestion in our neighboring streets. Thank you.
Good job, guys.